I have a lovely dog, Tucker. He is the love of my life and the prince of my heart. I love him so dearly. And here he comes now. So he is a Great Pyrenees. He is 110 pounds, full of love, and he loves practicing yoga. Sometimes, even if I am feeling kind of out of it, Tucker will come into my yoga room and plop down on my mat and remind me how important to practice is. So for the sun salutation, we're going to start in a mountain pose. So rooting down through your feet, grounding down into the floor mounds of your feet. Outer ankles pushing in, inner ankles pushing out, giving yourself a really stable foundation. Engaging your knees so that your thighs come up and making sure that your pelvis is in a neutral position. So just so you can see, this is not neutral, this is not neutral, this is neutral. Extend the space between your ribs and your chest so that we're not scrunching in here. Bringing the arms up, bringing them around. Giving your dog some love if you have one. Roll the shoulders back and away from the ears and just allow yourself to rest in this mountain posture. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth, allowing your body just to cleanse any energy that might be stuck from this evening. On your next inhale, bringing your arms up and overhead, and on your exhale, bending forward to Uttanasana, forward fold. We're going to do 3 breaths in forward fold. Really allowing yourself to loosen up, especially in the lower back. This is a great hamstring stretch as well if you have tight hamstrings like myself. And just let your head hang heavy. On your next inhale, we'll come up to a halfway lift, hands either at your shins or on your thighs. Taking a deep breath here, extending this mid-back right here, extending that up. On your next exhale, rolling all the way back down into forward fold. So you guys can see that yoga is always multitasking for me. So you can't see it because Tucker's foot is in the way, but my back foot is facing forward, my right foot is facing forward, and my front knee is over my front ankle. We really want to make sure we're not putting pressure on our knee. So coming up, again, extending this space through here, lifting up, rolling those shoulders away from the ears. And with our hands, we can do a few different positions. For this first one, I'm just going to put my hands on Tucker's back and just really allow myself to sink down with each inhale and exhale. I'm just going to scooch my front feet forward a little bit, and Tucker's done. Just to keep my knee over my ankle, I just put my front foot a little bit further up. Taking a deep breath here, inhaling, lengthening, and exhaling, sinking deeper into the posture. From here, framing your feet again and bringing your front foot back to meet your back foot. We'll be transitioning into downward facing dog. So back feet hip width apart, hands shoulder width apart, bringing your hips forward, head between your biceps, locking those shoulders in place, and breathing deeply. One more breath here. On your next exhale, dropping your knees, slowly dropping your chin and your chest, sliding back to go into a cobra. So with your thumbs underneath your shoulders, elbows tucked in, rooting down through the tops of your feet, engaging your knees, rooting down through your hands. On your next inhale, rotating your chest up for cobra, not straining your head or neck, but just allowing your body to naturally rise with your inhale. Taking 3 deep breaths here, feeling your core engage, grounded to the earth. Inhaling through your nose, exhaling through your mouth. And on your next exhale, slowly release your right ear to the ground. On your next inhale, slowly rise up to a tabletop position. Curl your toes under and push yourself back up into downward facing dog. Feet hip width apart, hands shoulder width apart, locking those shoulders in, extending those hips back, head between your biceps. Three deep breaths here. Feel how your body holds you, the strength of your body as you rest in downward facing dog. On your next inhale, look forward. Take your left foot, slowly drop it as close to between your hands as you can. If you can't reach between your hands, just scoot your foot up wherever it lands. And on your inhale, rise up. Again, similar to what we did on the back leg, extending back further than what you think you can do, and scooching those front toes forward so that your knee is above your ankle. You want to make sure we're not putting pressure on our knee. Bringing our hips square, so you can see what I did here. My hips weren't square here. Here they are. Having a neutral pelvis, extending the space between our ribs and our chest. Rotating our shoulders back and away from the ears. We want to do our hand position in the same way that we did the last time. So if we did this with our hands on the other side, we would do that. I did this with Tucker. So we want to make sure that we're pushing our back leg up so it's not lazy like that. We're pushing it up and having that tension with our body. Taking a deep breath in, allowing yourself to feel your strength in the sun salute. On your next inhale, reaching your arms up, folding forward, framing your feet with your hands, bringing your back foot up to meet your front, hip width apart, sinking into Uttanasana. Breathing deeply, feeling your lower back release, really allowing yourself to give into this posture. Feel what it feels like to have your stomach so close to your thighs, what it feels like to have your feet rooted into the ground, what it feels like for your head to be upside down. And on your next inhale, slowly rise up to a halfway lift, hands either on the tops of your thighs or on your shins. We want to avoid putting your hands on your knees because we don't want to put pressure there. And just rising up, ensuring this part of your back right here is not sinking in. Taking a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. Allowing yourself to feel being rooted, what it feels like to greet the day with gratitude, with joy, with promise. On your next inhale, sink back down into Uttanasana. Take a deep breath in. And on your exhale, extend your arms forward, slight back bend, and up. Again, a neutral pelvis here. From here, we're going to come down slowly onto our seat for the sage twist. So crossing your left foot over your right leg, so your right foot meets your left knee. Taking a deep breath in, squaring your hips, extending the space in your side, and taking your left elbow to your left knee, your right arm behind, and allowing your body to twist. So the biggest thing with twisting postures is we want to go to our edge. We want to go a little bit past it, but we really want to be respectful of what our body is sharing with us. So if your body is saying that's too much, that's too far, that's totally okay. You really want to respect exactly what your body is sharing. Take a deep breath in through your nose, and out through your mouth, just allowing that breath to nourish your whole body, the oxygen going to exactly where it needs to go. We're rooted here through our right hand with tented fingers, through our sitting bones, and through our left ankle bone. All of those places should have a groundedness, a firmness to them. On your next inhale, slowly rotate your torso back towards the center. Allow your shoulders to roll back. Slowly unravel your legs, coming back to a neutral Sukhasana position. Taking your left foot over your right knee, crossing over. So this side will probably feel different because our bodies are different on either side, day to day. So allow yourself to be patient with yourself. So again, our left heel is right by our right knee. We're taking a deep breath in, extending the space in our sides, taking our right elbow to our left knee and our left hand behind, rooting down through our sit bones, through our left hand, and through our right ankle bone. Take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. So when we're taking these breaths, we want the breath to come from our belly, all the way up to our ribs, all the way up to our chest, and then from our chest to our ribs to our belly. And this just allows the oxygen to go through our whole body rather than just breathing through our chest. So a lot of the times when we aren't breathing properly, it's because we don't want our stomach to distend. That's actually not true. We need our stomach to distend. We need it to get bigger so that we can take up space. That's especially important if you've ever experienced trauma, which, spoiler alert, we all have. Our lungs are so powerful, and if you were to roll out our lungs, they take up as much space as a tennis court. So we have so much space that we can inhabit, and one of the messages that we get from trauma is that we can't take up space, that we need to make ourselves small. So when children are playing hide and seek, they make themselves as small as possible, and we do the exact same thing in trauma. So it's really important that we allow ourselves to take up space with our breath. So on your next inhale, slowly unravel your torso, coming to the center, and then slowly unraveling your legs. What we want to do now is sit back into reverse butterfly. So I like using blocks just to stabilize my hips. You can use props if you want, but you absolutely don't have to if you don't want to. So what we're going to do is just extend our legs out, feel ourselves rooted in our sit bones, sitting up nice and tall, and allow yourself just to fold back. And then bring your feet together in a diamond shape And as I said, I use blocks to stabilize my hips just because I have a really tight groin area. So in an ideal world, my knees would actually be on the floor, but that is not how my body works. So they're not, and that's totally okay. So this is a very open posture. My body is very vulnerable. So I'm being very mindful to breathe deeply, allowing my body to sink into the parasympathetic nervous system. So the parasympathetic nervous system is basically where we exist when we're about to fall asleep, when we feel the most safe. Sleeping is very vulnerable, so that's why we have to be in our parasympathetic nervous system when we sleep. So this is basically when our heart rate is calm, when we're with people we trust, when we feel at ease. All of those are cues that we're in our parasympathetic nervous system. When we're in our sympathetic nervous system, where our breathing is shallow, we might be hypervigilant, we might be looking around our shoulder, we might not be feeling safe or grounded. So because this is such a vulnerable posture, we really want to show our body that we are safe. My body can hold me. I am good. So by breathing deeply, it's telling your body you can take up space. This is good. I am good. We are good. Allow your shoulders to sink deeply into the mat. And allow yourself to let go of any pressure that you might be holding in your hips. Letting yourself sink down further and deeper. On your next inhale, slowly bring your knees together. And we're just going to go into a happy baby by grabbing the outer edges of your feet. And you can slowly rock from side to side, just feeling your lower back being massaged. And then slowly releasing your legs down for our final Shavasana. Shavasana is the most important posture of yoga. Whenever I say that, people always laugh, but it's that is the most truth. It is, if you cannot do Shavasana, none of the other postures matter. Because the point of yoga is to be in your body. Shavasana is the way to do that. So in this posture, allow yourself to sink into your body, to feel what it feels like to be your arms, to be your legs, to be your stomach, to be your head, to be your feet. Feel each of these areas slowly fill with a heavy sand. And get heavy, heavy to the floor. On your next inhale, you can roll over to your side and push yourself up with a bed. And we'll just come into a seated posture to finish today's practice. So we're going to take a deep breath in through your nose and out through your mouth. You can bring your hands to heart center, allowing yourself to feel grounded and ready for your day. Namaste.